Okay, so today we are breaking down the press series, the press, push jerk, and we're going to throw the split jerk into the mix just to show you the difference. There seems to be a little bit of confusion with the press series, which one's which, and it's really very simple if you break it down. So we're going to start with the press. The press, we have the bar up over at the shoulders, elbows are directly under the bar, and the only thing that's going to move really or initiate the lift is our arms. So we're going to tighten up the quads, the butt, the core, everything's super tense. We're going to take a nice deep breath, and we're just going to drive that bar directly over our head for the press. You can see nothing else moves except our arms rise into the full lockout, elbows are locked, head comes through the window or through my arms, the bar ends directly over the shoulders. So that's the press. It's a strict movement. Moving into the push press, and have just about the same start position. Elbows might come up a little bit in front of the bar. We're still going to take a nice deep breath, but the first thing we do to initiate the movement is we're going to dip, right? Dip, and we're going to go into a drive with the push press. So when we dip, our knees are tracking right over the feet. Chest stays up nice and high. We're not leaning forward, okay? And this is going to give us some hips into the mix, and we all know if we throw the hips in, we're generating more power. So we throw those hips in, come out of that dip, drive that bar off the shoulders overhead, and there it is, the full lockout position, same end position as the press with the push press. Elbows are locked, heads through the window. And with that little dip into the drive and lockout, you could potentially add 30% more weight onto the bar just by bending your knees. Wow, all right? Guess what? We're moving on to the push jerk. So the bar comes down to the shoulders or that rack position. We're going to establish a good rack position first. So we're going to widen the grip a little bit. We don't want to be touching the shoulders, and especially if you have flexibility issues, all right, this will help you establish a great rack position. So I'm not the most flexible guy, for those of you who know me, but I'm going to widen my hands, finally get into place. Good. And look where those elbows go, okay? So my elbows are up super high, throwing daggers at you with those elbows. Look how close they are to the bar, or level with the bar. And I don't know if you can see it too, I do not have a closed grip on the bar. The bars roll back onto my fingertips, and all the weight is supported by my shoulders. So this is why, because we are literally heaving that bar up over our head. So it initiates or starts with the same movement as the push press. It is the push jerk. So we're going to dip down, the knees tracking over the feet, chest stays up nice and high, and we're literally, as we come out of that drive with the hips, we're throwing the bar off the shoulders, okay? We're throwing it up, and what people have trouble understanding or just performing is dropping under the bar. So if you can see, that bar is not going to move up too much more. I'm going to drop under it until I hit that full lockout with the elbows. Head comes through the window. You could see, though, I came into a quarter squat, just like my initial dip. So it was a dip, drive, dip, or you could look at that as a catch. And all I'd have to do now is stand to finish the lift, okay? What does that look like? Looks like the end of a press. Looks like the end of a push press. This is the end of the push jerk. So if you had trouble seeing that drop and catch, we're going to look at it one more time. We just kind of backtrack. So here comes the throw. There comes the catch, okay, and the full lockout. And if you had trouble, you could look at it in relation to the pull-up bar in the back. So here is the pull-up bar. It's very close to the barbell. Now look what happens when you stand. Stand on up. Wow, look at that. So a lot less distance you have to travel with the bar because it is so heavy. Guess what? From the push press to the push jerk, 30% more weight. So you're talking press to push jerk, 60%. Wow. We're going to take a look right now at the split jerk. So the split jerk is still a jerk. We're still going to dip, drive, and catch, except now we got a little bit different footwork. This has potential to throw up a ton of weight for those who are proficient at it, and I'll show you why. So it initiates the same way. We're going to dip and drive. We're going to bend those knees, track right over the feet, heave that bar up off our shoulders. The only difference in the catch now is you could see, I want you looking right down at my feet, you could see the feet are splitting. Okay? Now, we want to keep the same width. Okay, so my feet, my front foot came straight forward, back foot straight back. I could potentially have this foot turned in a little bit more. Ideally, you want it a little bit more straight, but the back knee's bent, and again, dropping down under the bar. If you look at it just like we did with the push jerk in relation to the pull-up bar, so I dropped about the same, okay, that's where we're catching it. And all we'd have to do is, again, stand up. Good. So those are the differences. The push press series, we threw the split jerk to show you the difference, but all of them are going to end just like this. Full lockout, head through the window, elbows are locked, bar is over the shoulders. That's the Coach's Corner. Thanks for stopping by.